Hello YouTube, my name's Rob Pollard. This is a short video just going to show you I guess the modelling that's now gone into the system to basically model how units get fatigued by performing various actions. I've also added code that can work out speed modifications based on the kind of kit the unit's carrying. So the more kit they carry, the slower they are, essentially. And also, there's now unit detection code in that units now know when they're bumping into other units, and they'll actually be stopped unless they're routing. So quite a lot been achieved over the last week, and let's show you it all running. I wouldn't take any notice of the descriptions here, I just randomly put that in. Let's open up the scenario. Again, I'm going to turn line of sight off because I want you to see everyone. I'll let that load up. Right, so what we've got here, the red infantry, by the way, are identical to the blue ones, so I'll just cover the blue ones. We've got 4 infantry units here. You've got a light infantry unit, which is a unit that doesn't have any armour. And then you've got 3, I guess, medium infantry units. So they're all carrying medium armour. The average infantry guy isn't carrying a shield. These 2 are, though. And these 3 vary also by training level, as per their name. This guy's is a conscript infantry, these are average, and these are well trained. And what you'll see is the conscript infantry should wear out faster than the other 2 infantry types, because they haven't had the physical training. They can't keep running for so long with their kit on. Now, the way the system's designed, there are certain movement commands which don't really impact fatigue at all, i.e. your standard moves. But there are others, like charging, for instance, that will impact fatigue quite a lot. And units get their fatigue back by resting. Even when fatigued, though, they can still move, but they can't do the more strenuous exercises like charging. But of course, if they move whilst fatigued, then they won't be able to regain their fatigue until they actually physically stop. So a lot of coding went in, and design work as well. A lot of design work into getting this fatigue system. And you should find the chaps in the woods, and these are exactly the same as the blue chaps, will have a harder time. They'll find it harder to charge through the woods and will get fatigued a lot quicker. In terms of what you'll see, a fatigued unit will generally, you should see it start to actually physically slow down its charge, almost down to a walking pace. The other new feature added is the ability for units to detect each other. Prior to this, units would just run through each other, whereas now they have pixel perfect detection, and now they'll stop unless it's a routed unit or a Roman maniple performing one of their special moves. You're not allowed to pass through other units. You have to be routed effectively. And if you're routed, you'll slow down when you pass through the other units, and you'll cause quite a lot of disruption to both units. These 2 are in good order, so what you'll see is I'm going to get him to charge across. What you should see is him stop as soon as he comes in contact with that chariot unit. The others I'll just stick on a charge up the hill. And we'll see how they get on in terms of the fatigue. Now, prior to the fatigue modelling going into the system, you could have units charging for as long as they wanted to, whereas now that's no longer the case. They actually get winded and tired out and need a rest. Of course, that will affect things like combat performance as well, so if you do decide to charge, you need to, I guess, balance out the advantages of the charge versus how tired your troops are likely to get. It will certainly dissuade you from getting your troops to try and charge over a kilometre, especially if they're wearing a lot of kit. I say also new in this version of the code is the fact it does take kit weight into account. So I say these chaps on the end, the light infantry, they're not really carrying any kit at all, so they should start to zoom along. The average guy isn't carrying a shield, a heavy shield, but he is carrying a medium armor, and these two have got shields and medium armor. So what you should see is him ahead, the average infantry just behind, and these two last. And in terms of fatigue, you'll see the conscript infantrymen get fatigued faster than the other two. But fatigue's not just a function of trading, it's a function of how much kit you're carrying and what kind of activities you're doing as well. So there are a lot of things that are taken into account during fatigue modelling. It's one of the reasons why these chaps in the forest will fatigue a lot faster than these chaps out here. Anyway, that's all the order set up. Let's kick off a turn for 30 seconds and see how they all do. So we're moving along at speed. As you see, the chaps outside the forest are moving a little bit faster than the chaps that are in the forest. And what you can't see is that these guys are fatiguing faster. So their conscript guy will actually start slowing down a lot sooner than everyone else. In fact, he's starting to slow down now already. So he's already getting tired out. And even here, out in the open, the conscript guy is slowing down. Really needs more training so that he can deal with the rigors of running with armor. So that's one turn. We'll kick off another turn, and what we'll do, pay attention to this cavalry unit so we can see the hit detection work, which again is a new feature. So here he goes. What you should find is he'll just when he hits a chariot and stop dead. In the full game, units will have weapon reach, so they'll stop mostly before they touch the other unit due to weapon reach. Now this guy, this average infantry unit, was overtaking the well-trained infantry unit, but they're starting to tire out because they're trading. So it's giving this well-trained infantry unit time to overtake it, even though he's carrying more. They're just not as tired out as they are. And what you'll find is he'll start to overtake him as he tires out. So let's go for another move. Of course, light infantry are making light work of this. They're not having any problems running that kind of distance. Look at that, the average infantry unit's now really slowed down, they're really tired out. And we can actually see the well-trained infantry pulling ahead, but he's also starting to tire out as well. See him slow down? That's partly a function because he's on the hill as well. So now most of these units are pretty much tired out from their run. And what you'll notice, if I was to give orders, you'll see that certain orders aren't available whilst they're fatigued, so I can't get into charge again, or fast wheel or surge. He'll continue with his current order as best as he can, but that will only cause more fatigue to the unit, which is something you don't want. And it takes a finite time for these units to regain their fatigue, with better trained units getting their fatigue back a lot sooner. Of course, that has other implications in that if you were to say get a unit to charge and then you don't give them enough time to rest and then you get them to charge again, you'll find that they'll tire out a lot sooner. So there are a lot of things to take into account with regard to unit fatigue modelling. So that's it. I said it's a short video, but a lot of code's gone in and design work to get us this far. Thank you for watching. Bye.